You think you know Florida? Beaches, theme parks, retirees doing yoga in linen pants? Sure. But beneath the cliches is a mosaic of cities so beautiful and so bizarrely livable, you'll wonder why you ever settle for gray skies and traffic jams elsewhere. From coastal gems to charming inland escapes, we're diving into 10 of the most breathtaking, unexpectedly delightful places to call home in the Sunshine State. If you're the kind of person who appreciates charming cities over tourist traps, go ahead and like and subscribe. Because trust me, in this video, Florida's about to surprise you. And also, stick around till the end. We got one bonus city that's like Florida's best-kept secret. A unicorn town you probably never heard of, but should absolutely know about. Number 10. Gainesville. Gainesville doesn't try to impress you. It just exists, quietly confident, densely green, and filled with the kind of intellectual buzz you can't fake. This isn't some pastel beach town with overpriced cocktails. It's a university city with soul. Home to the University of Florida, the city hums with life, but never shouts. You'll find students reading Camus under 300-year-old oaks, and joggers weaving through trails that look like the backdrop of a fantasy novel. You can practically feel your IQ rise when you move here. Gainesville's population is young, smart, and diverse. People ride bikes instead of Teslas, drink local kombucha like it's a sport, and argue about philosophy in craft breweries. But it's not pretentious. It's weird in the best way, like if Portland and Savannah had a swampy, sun-kissed baby. Now, if you're thinking about the cost of living, breathe easy. Gainesville gives you access to great schools, rich cultural life, and lush natural beauty, all while keeping your wallet reasonably plump. The median home price is still grounded in reality, and there's this rare balance between affordability and quality of life that's getting harder to find in American cities. Nature here is next level. We're talking crystal clear springs you can literally float down, hundreds of miles of bike trails, and nature reserves where the only traffic jams involve armadillos. It's easy to forget you're living in a city until you pop into a farmer's market and realize you're surrounded by poets, professors, and indie musicians selling wildflower honey and hand-pressed vinyl. The art scene? Underrated but thriving. Murals decorate downtown walls. Independent theaters run quirky festivals. And there's something about the city's energy, maybe it's the humidity or the intellectual mix, that breeds constant reinvention. It's the kind of place where your neighbor might be a biochemist moonlighting as a folk singer. And here's the kicker. People who move to Gainesville rarely leave. It's addictive. You show up for the degrees or the job opportunities, but you stay for the sunsets, the sense of belonging, and that unmistakable feeling that life doesn't have to be loud to be meaningful. If you're into cities that don't scream for attention but earn your love quietly and completely, Gainesville deserves a long, hard look. And if you've made it this far, drop us a comment below. What's your favorite Florida town so far? Number 9. Naples. Naples is what happens when elegance decides to chill. At first glance, it's all manicured lawns, luxury cars, and golf carts that cost more than your first apartment. But behind the country club facade is a city that's sneakily warm, emotionally generous, and almost offensively beautiful. This is where retirees come to flex, financially and fashionably. But don't let that scare you. Naples isn't just for the yacht crowd. It's surprisingly inclusive in a quiet, refined way. Locals know each other by name. Sunsets are a community event. And whether you're rich or just resourceful, the beach belongs to everyone. The downtown is straight out of a Hemingway meets coastal living dream. Fifth Avenue South is lined with palm trees and art galleries, where golden retrievers and bandanas outnumber people on Sunday mornings. Cafes spill onto cobbled sidewalks, and the breeze smells like salt and espresso. What makes Naples different from other coastal cities is its rhythm. It's slow, sure, but never stagnant. Think less spring break and more eternal golden hour. The kind of town where you start talking about installing an outdoor pizza oven unironically, and somehow, 6 months later, you actually have one. The public schools here are top tier. Healthcare? World class. Safety? It's like living inside a gated community. Even when you're not. Everything is pristine without being plastic. Even the sea turtles seem smug about it. Naples doesn't try to be trendy. It just is. It's not bursting with nightlife or overflowing with influencers. And that's precisely the point. It's a sanctuary, a place to breathe, reboot, and maybe, just maybe, become the version of yourself you write about in your journal. You won't find chaos here, just calm. That and a really good key lime pie. Number 8, St. Augustine. Imagine living in a European town, but with better weather and actual parking spots. Welcome to St. Augustine, the oldest city in America, where the past whispers from cobblestone streets and every corner smells like roasted peanuts and ghost stories. This city is like your quirky friend who collects antiques but somehow makes it cool. Spanish colonial architecture wraps around the town like a time machine, and even a walk to the grocery store might pass a 300-year-old fort. There's charm in every detail, from iron-wrought balconies to pirate-themed coffee shops that somehow aren't cheesy. St. Augustine's vibe is unhurried, but alive. Tourists buzz through the city daily, but locals have carved out secret routes and routines that keep life surprisingly peaceful. 1 minute, you're sipping sangria at a medieval-style tavern. The next, you're kayaking through marshes with wild heron for company. The cost of living is reasonable, especially considering the city's historical clout. And the neighborhoods, Victorian cottages, craftsman bungalows, and Spanish-style villas lined with bougainvillea. It's like stepping into a painting, except you actually live there. St. Augustine is perfect if you like your beaches with side of storybook vibes. There's a thriving artist community, and the city hosts more festivals than you can count. It's as much about community as it is about character. And yes, it's haunted, but even the ghosts here are charming. If you're enjoying the ride so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's so much more coming your way. Number 7, Sarasota. Sarasota isn't just a beach town. It's a beach town that went to art school, read Proust, and somehow still knows how to throw a killer seafood boil. It's classy without being stuffy, artistic without being pretentious, and one of Florida's most livable secrets hiding in plain sight. The beaches, especially Siesta Key, are consistently ranked among the best in the world, and they live up to the hype. White sand, water that looks photoshopped, and sunsets that stop conversations mid-sentence. But move past the postcard beauty, and you'll find a city rich with ballet, opera, and surprisingly elite contemporary art scene. There's an intellectual undercurrent here. Retirees who used to run companies now run nonprofit theaters. Young professionals move here for the lifestyle and stay for the sense of purpose. There's a constant hum of reinvention. Downtown Sarasota is dotted with independent bookstores, rooftop bars, and vegan taco joints that taste suspiciously like real food. Sarasota is what happens when beauty meets brains. Its schools are excellent. Its infrastructure is shockingly modern. And even the public parks feel like they've been curated by a design team. You can live on the beach, in the city, or somewhere in between. Housing isn't cheap, but the quality of life offsets the price tag. People here don't just live, they flourish. And the cherry on top? There's almost no Florida man energy. Just sunshine, soul, and the quiet satisfaction of knowing you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Feeling inspired? Drop a like if Sarasota surprised you. Number 6, Mount Dora. Mount Dora is a postcard can live in. Perched atop gentle hills, yes, actual hills in Florida. This lakeside city is like the charming Anna Florida towns, wise, warm, and a little bit whimsical. Walking through downtown feels like wandering through a Hallmark movie set. Antique shops, tea rooms, and quirky museums are packed into a few walkable blocks, and everything glows under century-old street lamps. It's a small town with a big soul. And no, it's not try to be hip. That's what makes it cool. Unlike the sprawling flatness of Florida's coastal cities, Mount Dora offers elevation, both literally and emotionally. Lake Dora gives the city a stunning natural anchor, and locals live for the festivals that happen here nearly every month. It's a city that throws party for no reason other than joy. There's a kind of peace here that you can't fake. Crime is low. Community spirit is high. You'll find your favorite coffee shop in a week, and probably know your barista's dog's name by week 2. Mount Dora may be slower paced, but don't confuse it with boring. There's a thriving art scene, especially for visual artists and craftspeople, and a renewed focus on sustainability and local business growth. It's tradition and progress shaking hands over a garden salad. For families, it's near Orlando without being swallowed by it. For retirees, it's peaceful but far from sleepy. For young couples, surprisingly romantic. It's the kind of place where people wave from their porches. And mean it. Number 5, Winter Park. Winter Park doesn't brag. It doesn't need to. Tucked just north of Orlando, it's Florida's most elegant flex, subtle, intellectual, and dripping in Spanish moss. Originally built as a winter retreat for the rich, hence the name, Winter Park still feels like an upscale escape. But it's not just for snowbirds and legacy money. Young professionals, artists, and academics are increasingly calling this place home for one simple reason. It's utterly livable. Rollins College gives the town a collegiate charm, but it's more than just ivy walls and frisbee golf. The school brings in lectures, concerts, and events that make Winter Park feel like the cultural center of Florida's soul. And then there's Park Avenue, a tree-lined street where indie bookstores, French cafes, and luxury boutiques coexist in perfect harmony. The city has more lakes than traffic lights, or at least it feels that way. Boat tours, paddleboarding, or just watching cranes strut across manicured lawns. It's all part of Lazy Tuesday here. And yet, you're minutes from downtown Orlando if you need a dose of chaos. Real estate isn't cheap, but what you get is real value. Stunning architecture, walkable streets, top-ranked schools, and a safety rating that would make a Swiss banker blush. And let's not forget the food. From fine dining to hidden taco trucks, Winter Park eats like a city twice its size. Already looking up Zillow listings? Go ahead and subscribe for more cities that might just change your life. Number 4, Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale used to be spring break central. Now, it's Miami's older, cooler cousin who reads Economist but still knows how to party. With its 165 miles of waterways, this city feels like a floating utopia. You can kayak to brunch. You can take a water taxi to your office. You can, theoretically, live on a boat and still have Amazon Prime. The city's architecture is modern and breezy, with condos and homes that blend indoors and out. There's a certain maturity to the way Fort Lauderdale has evolved, leaning into its boating culture, investing in arts and tech, and quietly becoming a magnet for entrepreneurs who want palm trees and performance. And yet, it's never lost its playful spirit. Las Olas Boulevard is alive with culture, craft cocktails, and late-night jazz. The beaches are pristine but not overcrowded. It's what Miami wishes it could be if it slowed down and got therapy. For families, schools are solid and neighborhoods are varied enough for every income bracket. For singles, the dating pool is as diverse as the city's food scene. And for remote workers, this place is a lifestyle upgrade disguised as city. Just don't call it backup to Miami. Fort Lauderdale is very much the main character now. So if you believe life's too short for a single place, leave a comment and tell us. Would you shift in Lauderdale? Number 3, Coral Gables. Coral Gables doesn't just look rich. It feels cultivated, thoughtful, intentional, like a city that read The Great Gatsby and decided to become it, minus the moral collapse. Built with Mediterranean flair and wrapped in banyan trees, Coral Gables is a jewel of South Florida's design ethos. Streets here are wide, clean, and practically whisper, "You made it." It's not flashy, it's cinematic. Home to the University of Miami. The city benefits from youthful energy and academic excellence, but the vibe is pure grace. Coral Gables is a place of traditions, fine dining, jazz festivals, and fountains that serve no purpose other than to delight. And yet, it's surprisingly livable. Great public services, incredible health care, shopping that makes Beverly Hills raise an eyebrow. You're close to Miami, but far enough to avoid its drama. Living here feels like sipping an aged wine, while the world spins in chaos outside. Number 2, Key West. Key West is Florida's final punctuation mark, a technicolor, off-the-grid oasis that feels like a dream you accidentally stumbled into after too many pina coladas. It's not just beautiful. It's bizarre, poetic, and definitely alive. Living here is like stepping into a Jimmy Buffett song, but with better healthcare and more chickens. You trade traffic for bike rides, deadlines for sunsets, and commutes for conch fritters. People don't just live in Key West. They reinvent themselves. Writers, wanderers, rebels, retirees, and artists all mixed together on this floor by one mild sliver of coral and chaos. Yes, it's expensive, but the cost buys you soul. Real, weird, beautiful soul. You waited till the end? Smart move because the spotlight is now on the bonus area, as it makes the mainstream look overrated. Bonus, Dunedin. Dunedin doesn't scream for attention, it hums. Just north of Clearwater, this unassuming coastal town has quietly become one of Florida's most fascinating paradoxes. Part seaside village, part artistic enclave, part Scottish fever dream. It's the kind of place where you can get haggis tacos from a food truck before heading to a pirate-themed beer tasting. And none of it feels out of place. The downtown is compact but dense with character. Murals wrap around indie bookstores. Bistros with handwritten menus spill out onto brick sidewalks. You're never more than a few steps from a local brewery, a bicycle rack, or someone walking a pug in a bow tie. The whole place feels curated, but never corporate. It's like Etsy became a town. And then there's nature. Dunedin sits right along the Gulf, which means spectacular sunsets, salty breezes, and the occasional dolphin crashing your paddleboard session. But the real jackpot is Honeymoon Island State Park. 4 miles of untouched beach just minutes from downtown. You can have brunch, hike mangrove trails, and be sunbathing by noon without ever touching a highway. But what really makes Dunedin sing is its soul. This isn't just a pretty place to retire. It's a living, breathing, creative community. There's a local pride here that's infectious. People support their mom and pop shops like it's a moral duty. Craft markets, art walks, and kilt-wearing bagpipers at street festivals. Somehow it all coexists without irony. It's also one of the most walkable cities in Florida, which is rarer than you'd think. With the Pinellas Trail slicing through town, Dunedin becomes a cyclist fantasy. No honking, no high-rises, just palm trees, porch swings, and the steady rhythm of a town completely at ease with itself. Dunedin doesn't try to be the next big thing. It's too busy being the current perfect thing. A town where community comes first. Sunsets are sacred, and weird is welcome. And now that you're in on the secret, would you ever leave? Thought that was unbeatable? Think again, because number 1 flips the whole script. Number 1, Orlando, the city you thought you knew. Orlando is a plot twist. You think it's all mouse ears and roller coasters, but behind the theme park curtain is a city bursting with innovation, diversity, and unexpected depth. Downtown Orlando is a cultural hub. The Milk District, Ivanhoe Village, Lake Eola, each one has its own flavor. Artists, startups, vegan soul food. It's a city reborn for a generation that wants both fun and function. Schools here are stellar. Job market, on fire. Tech, healthcare, education. Orlando's economy is quietly booming. And yes, the traffic sucks, but somehow it's worth it. You can live on a lake, or in a high-rise, or in a bungalow where the mailman waves at your dog every morning. And the best part? Orlando isn't done growing. It's reinventing itself in real time. And you could be part of that story. So, what did we learn from this whirlwind tour of Florida's most charming cities? That this state is far more than pastel condos and theme park lines. It's a rich, eclectic patchwork of towns that challenge your assumptions. Places where culture thrives beside coastline, where creativity pulses through historic streets, and where you can live both slowly and meaningfully without sacrificing modern comforts. Florida, in short, isn't just livable, it's enviable in its strangest, sunniest, and most surprising forms. And while each city we visited has its own flavor, from the intellectual calm of Gainesville to the surreal magic of Key West, there's a shared thread running through them all: intentionality. These aren't places that just happen to be beautiful. They were built, restored, and preserved by people who care deeply about quality of life, community, and character. That's a rare thing in today's world of disposable everything. In Florida's best cities, charm isn't accidental. It's designed, nurtured, and defended. So whether you're dreaming of moving south or just imagining a better version of your current life, Florida's got options that go way beyond the brochure. Because maybe, just maybe, the most extraordinary places aren't the ones with the most hype, but the ones that feel like they were made just for you. If Florida surprises you, imagine what's next. Like, subscribe or drop a comment. Your next dream city might be in our next video.